What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel here. Today we're going to be showing you how to install a set of our lifetime pedals on an old mechanical truck like this. So our pedals are designed to go on an electronical motor. That's the way they're set up, the way they're done. We install them on these old trucks all the time. When you have a mechanical motor, you won't have the same pedal. Your clutch and your brake will work all the same. Is your throttle is the only thing that is different. So I'm going to show you how we modify that and we install everything in to make it work on an old truck. So you take any of our pedals and make them work on old 359s, A models, needle nose, anything. Let's get started and I'll show you what we got going. All right, guys, so whenever you walk into a chrome shop, this is probably the box that you're gonna see. We are relabeling these, everything. They'll have a QR code and everything on them to where right now we have our instructional sheets that should come in every kit. It'll show you the old, how to take the old ones off, how to do the new ones, but that's the reason why we're making these videos here. So you don't have to read instructions. I'm not great at it, I don't care for it, you guys probably are the same. So we're making the video to show you how to do this. But when you walk into a chrome shop, this should be what you're looking for. White box, lifetime label, American flag on everything that we do. So let me show you what we got in the box here. So every kit that you're gonna get, you'll have your, obviously your throttle pedal, you're gonna have your brake pedal as well, and a clutch pedal. Now on these Kenworths, your clutch pedal has a backing plate. So it has a stainless steel backing plate here that gets bolted on the back side of this, and it actually smashes together and traps your existing clutch pedal inside here, and that's how this attaches. Your brake on a Kenworth, you'll peel the 3M tape, and this will stick onto the pedal. That's how that attaches, just simple as that. On a normal throttle, on like your newer style, same thing, just a 3M two-sided tape on the back. And you're just going to peel that off, stick it on. In this case scenario, what we're doing here is not going to be the same way. So I'm going to show you how we attach this pedal. Right here is actually what your normal Kenworth pedal will look like in the truck. It's got an oblong shape to it. It's just weird. So when you lay this on top of it, see how nothing really matches up, doesn't line up? I'm going to show you how we're going to make this attach to this. So also, I almost forgot here, guys. So you're going to get a package of these. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you do not. Just depends on what it's going on. So you open the package, you are going to have, you're going to have your two studs here, and you're going to have your two locking nuts, and that's actually going to go on the back side of this clutch in here and here, and that's what will attach, you know, smash this plate on your clutch. That's how you install that. We also include two nut covers, so when you're done, you can put the nut covers over top the locking nuts and makes everything look nice. So now what we're going to do for this, if you actually need to put this on an old truck, what you're going to do is we're going to you'll have to call us and we will include these with you, so we can send them out to you, or you can just go to a hardware store and you can pick up, you're only going to need 2 or 3 of them. So what it is, it's a 1/4-28 thread on the back side of this, so you go get a fine thread 1/4-inch bolt or just fine thread stud just like this, and that's what's going to go on the back side of this throttle. So let's get into it and I will show you guys how to attach this, disassemble and reinstall into a old truck. Okay guys, we're in the truck here. I'm just going to kind of show you how easy it is to install the whole thing here. So we're just going to start off on every Kenworth, Peterbilt the same way, but since we're doing this Kenworth, we'll just explain it like this. So now everything just has a rubber cover on it. This is a rubber one, your brake and throttle. They're all rubber, just covered over top of it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to take all these rubber plates off of all your throttles. Like on this clutch here, you're just going to take this, you're going to grab from the backside, and you're just going to peel it up and peel it off of your clutch pedal. Just like that, just comes off. Everything's clean here. Now the one thing you do want to check on these, just because seems like we run into a lot of trucks. Some were built on Mondays and some were built on Fridays. So this arc in this right here on your clutch pedal, sometimes this arc is actually a little bit off. Like sometimes it lays a little flatter and sometimes it has more of a curve to it. So the first thing you want to check on these, you know, you're just going to take this and you're going to lay it over the back side of it here. So as you have it on here, you're just going to lay it over the back side. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel with your finger underneath here on the bottom side. You're going to feel that there is a lip here sticking out past the back of this clutch. Same thing on the front side. You'll just run your fingers underneath there and make sure you can feel that there's actually part of this clutch hanging past this right here. That gives the effect of when this thing goes on, it smashes this in between these two pieces, and that's how it is attached on here. So like I said, some trucks are all different. Sometimes you won't have as much of an arc here, and what you'll have to do is you just put a crescent wrench on here. Let me show you. So a lot of times what you're going to do is you'll just take a crescent wrench and you'll put it on that lip of this, on the edge. You just grab it here and you'll just pull down. It'll work every time you stick it here, and you're just going to tug down on this just a little bit. This one I don't need to, so I'm not actually going to pry this one. But you'll stick one on just like this and pry down on it. And what that'll do is it'll actually bend this down just a little bit more, so that way when you bolt it up, it will smash in between here. It's just a little tip because we've seen it in new trucks, we've seen it in older trucks. It doesn't really matter. It's just sometimes these have a different bend in them. So just a little trick, just put a little more bend in it or a little less bend in it, whatever you need to do to make it fit properly. Okay, so now on the back of your clutch here, you're going to put your two studs in. These are just the studs that you're going to do, and you're going to line your smash piece. So what you'll do is you'll stick these together. Sometimes when these are threaded in here, these studs, since they're so long, they'll actually be at like a little bit of an angle, or sometimes a stainless piece might not have a big enough hole in it, just depending on certain things here. So what you're going to do, sometimes you might have to just take and ream this out just a little bit. Sometimes, because these are all laser cut with the CO2, and sometimes it's not always perfect, so sometimes they'll kind of drag a little bit, and you can ream those holes out, not a problem. So what you're going to do, you'll stick this on here. You're going to leave a little bit of a gap in here, and then you're going to take and install the nuts on here. This is the easiest way to do it. Don't try and do it on the clutch. Don't set the top piece on and then try and slide your bottom piece up from there. It doesn't work very well. The easiest thing is you just put it on just like this. You leave a gap in here, and what you do is you'll slide it right over the end, and you'll feel it just drop right on. You can hear it when you slide it over. It just drops right on. There you know you're in place. Everything's good to go. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take a deep well 7/16 socket and a ratchet, and you're not going to tighten the crap out of these things. You're just basically going to snug them up. You don't need a lot of tension in this, and you want to do it equally. You're going to tighten this side. You don't need to go all the way with it, but then go to this side. So do your back and do your front, so that way you don't bend this plate. You're going to just kind of equally walk it up. You'll notice as you're tightening, like you'll start seeing it moving. And once that one side starts moving, you'll go back to the other side. Like I said, you just get them, you just snug these things up right here. Like I said, you don't need to over tighten them. Just slightly snug them up, so that way that plate comes up there nice and flush. Sometimes you will have a gap in here. Like I said, it just all depends on the clutch and how big of an arc it has on it. And like I said, you can put this all on, and if you have a little bit of a gap in there, you can actually take and pull it back off, put a little bend in your clutch, and then put it back on there again. If that little gap does bother you, that is the easiest way to fix it. So by doing that, now your clutch is installed, it's on there, it's sturdy. So that's one thing. If you do have less of an arc on there, you're going to put this thing on, you're going to tighten it down, and if you can take this and you can wobble it around, you can hear it go clank, 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 then you know that you got to put more of a bend in that to tighten this whole section up. So with this one on, so we're just going to move on to the next one here. I'm just going to show you the fact of disassembling it and kind of a trick of putting it on. Same thing with the whole truck of Monday and Friday thing. Sometimes these pedals are just in a press brake, and they don't get them bent correctly. So some have more bends, less bends. It's always things you got to look for in this stuff, especially in old trucks. Not saying there's anything different about new trucks, but I would look at them as well. So what you do with this, just take the rubber, peel the rubber back, slide it off. Simple as that. But like I said, this is all done in a press brake here, so it's got a different radius on it, different bend on it. Now we have had people call us and say that, hey, you know, your pedal won't fit on here, it hits a side roller light. Like I said, these are just not a perfectly machined piece right here. It's on a press brake. So what you want to do before you take and you peel your 3M tape off the back of this, you just want to take it and just overlay it and set it in there and make sure everything fits correctly. Like it's going to sit all the way down. It's not going to drag or hit. You actually want to have a little bit of wobble in this. So where you can hear that, that means that this is actually in place, fitting correctly. Now, if you stuck it on and you feel it sitting at like an angle, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take like a grinder and just lightly grind this pedal. Grind it or squeeze it, kind of tap it with a hammer, whatever you want to do, to get them to fit right. Normally we don't have any issues. I'm just saying the certain things that we have ran into with all these different trucks that we sell these guys or these pedals to, you're always going to get something that's a little bit different. So I'm just telling a couple things that I have ran into on this, and that's how you fix it. So that's what you do with this one. Like I said, just overlay it, put it on, make sure it fits correctly and snug in there. This one will be a simple, easy one. We know everything works, it fits properly, so we can take this off. Now we're going to get to the fun part of the throttle pedal. Like I said, this obviously does not match this whatsoever. I mean, the thing is just huge. So this lays on there, it looks goofy. You can't have that. So I'm going to show you how we are going to fix this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to pull the whole cover off the top of this and just slide everything out of here. And you're going to have your existing pedal underneath, and that's normally what you're going to have. Sometimes they're a flat one, sometimes they're an old KW one like this. I know some guys are going to probably be mad that I'm going to cut this one, but I am going to cut it. This pedal is the old crooked KW style one here, and we're just going to trim this one so this will fit on here like we want it to, and we're going to cover the old existing pedal. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to grab a marker here and I'll show you exactly how we do it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to grab yourself a marker, and we're going to lay the pedal on here. So what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to line this side, your driver's side, because that's the side that you want to look correct. When people look in your truck or you look at it, you want to line this driver's side here so it's completely flush with the old existing pedal. So you don't want to have it hanging off like this. You want it sitting there so it's perfectly straight all the way up and down here. And then you're also going to check your bottom so that way you don't have, you know, some of this bottom hanging out here. You're just going to slide that down so you're flush on the bottom, and then you are going to be flush on the side right there. And once you have that there, you're just going to take your marker, you're going to mark right around the outside of this piece, and you're going to come down this side and you're just going to mark this right here, whatever's overhanging, which isn't much. Like I said, it's just a little trimming is what you have to do on this here. It's not a ton of work. Okay, so now that you have that marked, you can kind of see the mark going across here. So we know that we don't have to cut this thing at like this silly angle like that. All we're going to do, so right here is your holes. These are the holes that we're going to bolt into. So where this hole is, just take your finger and just make a little mark right here across the chrome so you can see it. Lay this back on there where your deal is, and then what you're going to do is, you know that that stud is right here. So you're just going to make a little, move that to the side and just make a little mark above that. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut straight across here over to this other side. Just cut that out, and we're going to trim this off here, and then we'll just put our screw holes in there and we're going to bolt it to this piece. So we'll get it cut and we'll show you from there. Okay, so now that we have our pedal cut, and probably heard all the old boys and everybody's mad about it, that we cut an old crooked KW pedal. I have enough of them, so I really don't care. We just cut it because I didn't want to replace the whole entire thing. But sorry to you guys on that, didn't mean to, but we're putting a better looking pedal in there anyways. So now we have ourselves a little trick that we've always used. For a dead hole like this, when you're trying to get this to show up on that pedal right there, what you do is you just grab yourself like a finger full of grease, and you're just going to put dabs. It's kind of hard. I got a little more than I probably needed. You just put a dab where that hole is. Now, trick to this is always make sure that there's like a little teat coming up there, a little teat. So you put enough grease in there so that way it's got like a little point coming out of it, if you don't like the word teat. So when you set it on there, that's actually going to make a mark right where that hole is. So now that every single one of these has a protruding grease on it, we can flip this thing over and we'll set it on that pedal, and this will put a mark on our pedal at where we need to drill our holes at. Let me wipe this grease off my hand and we will mark this here. All right, well, so now we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over. So what you want to do when you make sure, when you flip this piece over, you're going to hover it over top of this pedal. You're going to keep it over top it a little ways, and you're going to line your driver's side up here and your bottom side up. So you're just going to line these up over top of the old existing pedal. Put your finger on the bottom to keep that level there, and just eyeball it of going down the side to where you're straight. And once you feel that you're actually straight where you need to be, you're going to take that pedal and you're just going to press it on there lightly, and you'll feel your grease hit. Once you know where you want to be, take and pull it off, and there's your marks. And like I said, sometimes you'll get all four, sometimes you get two. Right here we're missing this one over here, so we'll be able to put a bolt in here, we can put one here, and we can put one here. So we have 3 points of contact. So we're just going to take and we're going to drill those holes out, and we'll set this up. All right, guys, so now we got this throttle pedal attached. So what I use is this. It's a 1/4 28 bolt. It's a 1/2 inch long. This will be enough to go through your pedal and actually into our pedal and thread inside of it. So if you just pick this up at a local hardware store, it's probably 20-30 cents, something like that. Just pick up your 3 of them, 4 of them, whatever you can get in there. Just a 1/2 inch long, 1/4 28. So what we did was we just run them through the backside where we marked our holes and drilled them, and we just tightened this pedal right down, and now it's just tight and bolted onto your old existing pedal. So you can see a little bit on the sides. It's not much, but like I said, I mean, I would say probably the last 5-6 show trucks that we've built, it's been done exactly like this, and nobody notices it. Like I said, you can paint this back plate if you want. You can paint it any color you want and then attach the pedal, or however you want to do it. If you just want to throw it on a farm truck like we're doing right now and have a nice looking set of pedals, that's what we did. So now I'm going to show you on the brake pedal here. The one thing, that's kind of the last pedal to put on. So whenever you do this, you can use either Windex, a brake clean. You just want to make sure you clean this pedal, because this is where that 3M adhesive is going to be sticking. So you're basically just going to want to wipe off the contact surface, which all the flat area here is going to be the contact surface. So you just want to wipe that off so it's nice and clean. You're going to get grease and debris and oils that are just sitting underneath there, have been trapped for years. Just wipe it down nice and easy. On these, what I like to do is, anytime we put our pedals on, anything with a 3M adhesive, you're trusting that to hold everything to it. So if you have a heat gun, I would definitely use one. Just warm this surface up here, and then on the back side of our brake pedal, when you peel this off, you're actually just going to run the heat gun over top of this just real quick. And what that'll do, it'll actually activate that 3M tape just a little bit more. You'll see it kind of like bubble a little bit, and that just gives that enough heat to where it'll contact that and it'll stick twice as hard. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm just going to heat that up a little bit, run over top of this, and then stick it on, and we will be done with this. Before I forget, I just want to add that when you're doing this, you really want heat on this. You want this contacting surface and this piece right here to be the same temperature. So if you guys are putting this on, say it's fall time, middle winter, something like that, you just come out to your truck and you go to take everything off and just stick this on here. This needs to be warm. This really, really needs to be warm. Just helps with that 3M tape stick, because usually if you're doing something, you'd rather do it once, not 10 times, because you stick it on there, and if it doesn't fully make contact, down the road you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be mad because, well, it did not stick, it fell off. You need to prep the surface right away the first time. If you do it in the winter, start your truck and just turn the heat on high and let it sit there and run, and make your cab just as warm as it possibly can, because it will help the surface. So if you do not have a heat gun, do one of the following to make this more warm, so that way it creates a better sticking point. So we'll just heat this up here. Like I said, it does not take a lot to do it. You don't need to put a ton of heat into this thing. You just want it warm. And it's about 80 degrees here in Iowa. I really don't probably need to do it. I just do it all the time just to make sure that this stuff sticks the first time. You want it warm to where it's just warm to the touch. probably good there. So now we're going to take and we'll peel this back on our 3M tape here on the pedal. And you can kind of watch when I heat this up, you'll see this glue actually kind of activate. It's hard to tell, but when you're sitting there looking at it, you might not be able to see it through the camera, but it actually looks like it's giving it like a little bit of a texture. And all that's doing is activating that glue. Like I said, you don't need to do a lot. That's plenty. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start from the top. Normally you want to set your top in so it lines up with this pocket here. You want to set it in this pocket on that ridge and then just press down from there. And just press it on. Just keep kind of going over it a couple times, pressing like the whole surface, because not everything on these is perfectly flat, but it's just that way you get a better contact throughout the whole entire thing. There you got it. It ain't coming off. So, yeah, one more thing we're going to show you, and this project will be done. Okay, so now when you're done with everything, you're going to notice that all these pedals, you're going to have grease from your hands, your tools, everything that you've been using on here. They're just going to be filmy, kind of ugly looking. And the nice deal, I guess they're all triple chrome plated, so this stuff will clean up. The one nice thing about our pedals, we put the rubber inlays in here. So when your feet contact this pedal, this actually sits 100 thousandths over top of the chrome. So 3/4 of the time when your foot hits this pedal, it's going to hit this surface before it ever hits the chrome. We kind of build them that way, just so that way it saves on any of this chrome. You get rocks in your shoes or anything like that. I mean, not everybody's going to take them off every single time you're in your truck, but if you don't have to worry about it. These are very, very durable chrome plating on ours. So what I use here on pretty much everything is Time to Shine cleaner. It's from Evans Detailing. I use this on pretty much everything in my trucks. So it's definitely a good cleaner. Just put a nice coat of this. Just like that, just shoot a tiny little mist over everything, let it sit in there a bit, and then just wipe it off. His cleaner is by far the best I've ever used. I mean, you've used Windex, we've used Windex with Rain-X, and you still get to sit there and you get streaks, and you know, you're wiping and wiping and wiping constantly. This stuff, I don't know, I've talked to Evan about it personally, and his has got so much alcohol, I believe, that's in there, that it just dries off and you don't get all the streaks like the other products out there. There's a lot of people that can this stuff and it's just not a clean finish when you're done. Normally when you're done, it's going to look like that every time. Like you're going to get that smear in there. I mean, Evan's like, if you wipe over it once and come back, that's what it should look like. It just takes it right off. Everybody else, you're going to sit there and wipe and clean it 3 or 4 times. This stuff, you wipe it once, hit back over it, you're good. So Evans Detailing, his glass cleaner is phenomenal. Definitely put a shout out to him. Look him up and all his products, polishing products, cleaning products. Definitely has some very cool stuff there. But there you go. That's our pedal install on a mechanical engine. Like I said, this is the way we've done it for years. So we can make these pedals work whether they're on an electronic engine or they're on mechanical. It doesn't really matter. We've made them work like this. I've done them in 359s. You can take the same. The nice thing is we have the threaded holes in the back. So that way, when you want to mount it to something it's not supposed to be mounted to, just a little bit of ingenuity, you can easily get these things to work on anything and everything. Like I said, if you have any issues or you want some tips or anything like that, you can directly call us here at Lifetime, ask for me. I will help you through it. It's a simple procedure. The first time you do it, it might seem a little hard. That's why we kind of want to show you on the video, to show you it's simple. Make a couple little cuts, drill a couple holes, and you got yourself a new set of pedals in an old truck. There you have it, guys. That's the install video of our Kenworth pedal kit on an old Kenworth like this. Getting these style pedals to go on a mechanical engine. As simple as that. Like I said, anything else you guys need, we're going to be making plenty more videos showing installs on our different products, how they go on, how we put them on, to help you guys out with installing this stuff. Like and subscribe, guys, to see what we install next. If there's anything that you guys want installed or see us install, comment below and we'll help you out the best we can.